Alright, basically the way it works here at the Wizard, we got 2 CD players. We can do 2 CDs and then link it up. We've got turntables. We've got computer. I can do YouTube. And just to show you the power of freeform radio, we're going to go at it right now. What's up, Chicago? You are listening to The Wizard, WZRD Chicago 88.3 on your lower FM dial. Right now, this is Johnny Cash with Personal Jesus. And that's it, man. That's how it's done. Here at the Wizard, this is one of the only freeform radio stations left, okay? Basically, if you're given a show here as a wizard, you are a wizard. The bottom line is I am in charge of what's getting played here on the Wizard from Tuesdays from 1 to 4. You know, one thing that's awesome about the Wizard is if you tune in and you hear a song you don't like, you know 5 minutes later it's going to be completely different. You know, and that's the awesome part about freeform radio. It's awesome being here like that, you know. For 3 hours a week, I get to come back, chill out in this awesome station, play music I like, play music that, you know, learn new music that I don't know, you know, and broadcast it out to the people here on the north side of Chicago. So it's awesome. This is the vinyl collection here at the Wizard. If I could show you one section, I mean, you can see we got records everywhere, but this record area here, from about here to here, is about my favorite. Reason being is the station was started in '76. Right now I'm currently into a lot of bands from the '70s, hard rock bands, Rainbow, you know, even Sabbath, Steppenwolf, stuff like that. All this stuff is here. And not only do we have the hits, let me see if I can just, you know, we got Sly, you know, Sly and the Family Stone. We've got, you know, stuff you don't even think of, but, you know, the complete Tom Paxson recorded live. Okay, bottom line is, everyone says it, vinyl is the plan. Whether it's hip, whether you're saying it because it's cool, bottom line is it's the truth. Vinyl sounds great, and vinyl sounds great over the air, because a lot of those little tiny pops and snaps do come through, and man, it hits you, man. You get that feeling of the rock and roll through it, you know. This is when music was its best, you know what I mean, was on the vinyl. So
now that's a big fat old dream, thinks a permanent queen and all fair and just. I'll send a postcard with a picture on front saying, wish you could be here with us.
this is live radio. This is from playing there, and this is what's coming through on the airwaves. This is going to be the new Wizard Studio. It's not ready yet, of course, but if you notice everything's broken and no lights are working in here, everything's working, everything's brand new, but we'll be in here soon enough, and we're actually going to keep the old studio open and kind of go back and forth, so it will be...
doesn't have quite the charm, does it?
It doesn't have the, you know, it doesn't have the mojo, you know what I mean? The other one just feels... But, you know, we'll break it in right. It'll be all good. Musical background my whole life too, you know. It's like I've played drums since I was, you know, a small child in grade school, and you know, I played trombone, violin, also in grade school. But drums was my thing, pretty much always growing up. When I moved out here to Chicago, I couldn't bring a drum set with me, so I picked up the bass guitar. You know, I loved having music, and it was something I could have a small amp. So, and that actually worked out great. I was always, you know, around other musicians playing drums, so of course, you know, I'd play around, and I ended up picking it up pretty quickly, and I got a few bands together. One with Alex from the tattoo shop called 40th Century Man, and our good friend Stephanie Sylvester's the singer, and then I have my friend Chris Roy plays guitar, and another friend, his name's Tall Chris, he plays guitar as well. So there's the 5 of us, and we screw around with that, and it's cool about the Wizard because I can kind of play whatever I want. So I played 40th Century Man, you know, and they're like, oh, this is a great, you know, Chicago Underground band or whatever, but you know, I've always loved music, man. My father was he started when he was a kid, he played the accordion, and then it worked out, he turned into, he started playing the organ, and he played roller rinks, he's played Chicago Theater. Right now his main gig is he plays church organ in Rockford, Illinois. So I've always had music my whole life. Alright, you are listening to The Wizard. It's about 3:45 now. Getting ready to kind of wrap up the day. Free Speech Radio News. is going to be coming to you in about 15 minutes. This is the hobby during the day. I play before I work, which is backwards, but I'm kind of a backwards guy, so.
Let's talk about the tattoo art. How long you've been doing it? How'd you get into it? What's all that about?
Well, tattooing is my love, man. Ever since I was a little kid, the people were buying, the kids were buying Highlight magazines and Ranger Rick. I mean, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, I was buying tattoo magazines. I mean, I just always infatuated with tattoos and any sort of, thing relating to that. Turned into the alternative of my parents. Not that I had any sort of bad with my parents. They were very, awesome and supportive of me. But, my mother raised 7 boys before me with a whole previous life. Very conservative, out in the sticks. Kind of renewed her life, had me, and it was just me and Mom. And, she supported me and told me, hey, whatever I want to do. And, ever since I was a kid, I always drew. We'd go out to eat, I'd draw dinosaurs on plate napkins, on the little kitty, where you had the tic-tac-toe, I'd, be, doing little skateboard guys around it and stuff. So I always loved to draw, and I always loved art, and I always loved tattoos. Of course this led me to getting tattooed, and of course I couldn't wait till I was 18, So I was 15 years old, I skipped school, and went and got my first tattoo, which was also music-related. I got the Misfits skull on the back of my leg, and that kind of started it from there, man. I was hooked, I got the Misfits skull, I went back a week later, got another one, went back a week later, got another one, push comes to shove, here I am, graduating high school, and I'm almost fully sleeved out. And my friends are like, oh, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna do this. Like, man, I'm gonna tattoo, and they're like, I know you draw. I used to always draw comic books of them, and it was just, I love drawing, and so I tell them, like, hey, man, I'm gonna tattoo, and they're like, yeah, whatever, it's not a real job, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's for serious. So as soon as I got out of high school, I met up with Jerry Thrash, and he was tattooing me all the time, and we just became really good friends. And towards the beginning of him, I asked him, hey, man, teach me how to tattoo or something. And he's like, no, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do this, One day we were hanging out late in the shop, and he finished with a customer, and he hands me a stack of papers of old, we call it's company Crow Flash, and it has little cactuses and Mickey Mouse. He's like, take these and draw them. He's like, fill up a whole trace pad full. So I drew up a whole tracing pad. I drew 1,000 Mickey Mouses with a little orb, over and over and over, and I gave it to him. He's like, okay. He's like, I'm going to teach you how to tattoo. Jerry ended up going out to Tattoo Factory, and he got the job offer there, and I just kind of followed, and Jerry kind of got me my foot in the door, and I started off, sweeping, mopping. He introduced me with Paulie and Crazy Mike, and all the old timers, and I just started off answering phones, sweeping, mopping, doing whatever they say, kind of the apprentice's job, kind of floor walking the shop, making sure everyone's happy, drawing stencils. And after doing that for about a year, Paulie, gave me the opportunity. He's like, hey, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I want to learn to tattoo. He's like, you want to learn to tattoo? And I'm like, kind of like, yeah, and he's like, okay, here, you're in. He's like, get someone to come in. So it was like, as soon as that, it wasn't something I was expecting, but the next day I had a friend of mine in, and I'm Paulie's showing me how to tattoo, and it just kind of went from there. So working there now, at Tattoo Factory, I've been there since this was 2001, you know where we're at now, so, I mean, people look at me like, oh, you're kind of young, but it's like, I am young, but my experience, it's like, I've been doing this a little while now, where it's already like, man, where's my life going by, so, but I love it, man. I'm glad I couldn't be doing anything else, man. Hanging out, playing tunes, tattooing for a living, I feel like I'm not even working, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it.